Hey guys, this is Ralston. Hey guys, Ralston here, owner of Strive Academics, and welcome to Ahead of the Curve, where we talk about the resources, news, and tips and strategies that students need to stay ahead of their peers. This is episode 7, and we're going to be talking today about other ways that students can stay productive during their breaks. Now, one quick note I want to say before we get started. This is actually a re-recording because the original recording that I did seemed to have a little bit of technical difficulties where basically there was no audio. So we're doing this again for take 2. So going into the other ways that students can stay productive during their breaks. Last week, we talked a little bit more about things that students can do during the summer and the reasons why you might want to, keep up with a couple of things in studying during the summer. Well, this week, I wanted to talk a little bit more about other ways that you can stay productive. So let's say that you're a student who is not particularly worried about falling behind for the upcoming school year. You've got the summer thing down and you don't have any retention issues. You just need to do a little bit of light studying on your own. Well, here are some other things that you can do to really stay productive during your breaks, whether it's summer or otherwise, and keep moving forward to work on things like building up your resume, gaining new skills, and even more. So, one of the first things I wanted to mention is jobs and internships. This is pretty much a standard that if you're looking for ways to pad your resume, looking to gain some new skills, then seeking a job or internship is a great place to start. Now, as things are right now with COVID-19, that might be a little bit harder for you and might not be the best outlet, as a lot of jobs for teens tend to involve going to places where it's not really possible to social distance. So a traditional job might not be on the table. However, it is great, something great to keep in mind for normal times. And so when you are out there looking for jobs, or otherwise, you can ask around to your contacts, whether that's your parents, teachers, family, friends, and so on. Maybe there's something that you could do where you are able to socially distance and can do some work that kind of way. So that's definitely one way that you can spend your time during this break. Now, the second thing that I wanted to mention is picking a cause. Volunteering is a great way to get involved in your community, and it's a great way to give back while developing some skills for yourself. So, colleges, employers, etc., we all love seeing people who are volunteering because it shows a little bit about your personality. It shows a some sets of skills that you may have, and it shows that you care, really. So picking a cause, being involved in some way however you can, is still really valuable. And there are tons of organizations out there that are trying to do work, whether in person or you can do things like, for example, if you are particularly adept at social media and great at getting a message out there, that's something that you can do, that a skill set that you may have that someone else at that organization may not be the most competent in. And so it's a great way for you to assist, that doesn't even necessarily require you to get outside of your house. Now, the third thing I wanted to mention is club activities. So, in addition to some of the traditional things like getting a job or volunteering, not every club stops when school is out. You might either through a school affiliated club or maybe something else outside of school. There might be some things that are planned, whether it's an event or just regular meetings that you can continue. This is all great ways to stay involved and stick together with your friends. It's a great way for some particular clubs that are maybe more focused on academics or developing skill sets. It's a great way to keep that up and keep studying, um, keep working on those skills. If it's something like a business club or otherwise, it's all great things that you can do to keep yourself occupied with the time that you have if there's nothing else going on. Next, breaks are a great time to learn a new skill. And there's lots of different ways to do this. Now, when I say learning a skill, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's directly applicable to your school studies, or it doesn't necessarily need to directly apply to getting a job or something like that. But there are tons of different ways that you can work on a variety of skill sets. Now, of course, there is stuff that you can do, like I've mentioned, IXL or Khan Academy, where you can go back over things and study and make sure that your understanding of various concepts that you're learning in school is up to snuff. But in addition to that, you can say work on a practical skill. Focus on, if crafting is an interest of yours or a hobby, you can do some crafting. If you are particularly artistically minded, you can try tinkering around with some art programs or maybe using something free like Canva. In addition to that, you could even say, if you're fond of computers and electronics, maybe tinkering around with something like Code Academy or some other course that allows you to work on your STEM skills and learn some coding, maybe tinkering around with a spare device that you may have to get a better understanding of how to write code or machine code or something like that. There's all sorts of cool things that you could do out there to work on skills in whichever fields may interest you. So that's definitely something that you should check out. If you don't know how to go about learning something, then maybe now's the time to start doing a little bit of research at least. That way you can figure out ways how to get involved or learn some of those skills that you really want to pick up. There's tons of free resources out there, and it would be a really interesting project for you to start. Another thing you can do is create some online content. So say you've got the other stuff down. Say you know, maybe an internship or job doesn't really interest you. Maybe you're volunteering. Maybe you're learning a new skill. Well, another thing that you can do to take that to the next level is create some content. This is a great way that can serve as a portfolio of some of your work. Now, of course, you should be talking to your parents if you are creating anything that's going to go up online. But say if you're interested in writing and journalism, then maybe you can start a blog, start writing about things, interview your peers or people in your community, and start collecting people's stories and experiences that way. If you are interested in design or art, you could design a website, or you can work on your drawing skills and commissions and things like that. If you want to, I mean, really, the world is your oyster. There's so many different opportunities and things that you can do. That's just a short list of some of the projects that you can start that comes off just from the top of my mind. And the last thing, as far as things that you can do that I wanted to mention, is starting a business. So, if you also are entrepreneurially minded and you think that starting a business might be something that you're interested in, keep in mind that businesses are not just for people in their 40s and 50s who think about money and like to wear suits. if you have an idea, a way to provide a better opportunity, a way to solve someone else's problem, then that is a great way to start a business. I started my first business when I was 18, and I was doing other entrepreneurial things before that when I was as young as 12. So you can definitely find something to get started. A quick and easy way, for example, is masks. Right now, there's a lot of demand for masks out there. And even if it's something as simple as a cloth mask, for example, if you love to use your hands, then that's something easy that you could pick up and learn how to sew and create. And again, there's lots of demand out there for people who are not able to procure masks or who just don't know or don't want to spend the time to pick up the skill. So starting a business is another great way to show your skills. It shows a lot of things that people are looking for, such as colleges and employers, shows that you take the initiative, shows that you are driven, shows that you are self-reliant and can take it upon yourself to start and create projects and stick through with it. So there's a lot of valuable skills that you can put to the test in the course of running your own business, but also that you can grow even further if that's something that interests you. So before we leave, let's talk about the resource of today. So the resource I wanted to mention is Duolingo, and I wanted to use this one because it goes pretty well hand in hand with our with one of the other points that I mentioned before. So, Duolingo, if you don't know, is a great resource for learning languages. It's a free tool that's pretty much available everywhere. You could practice on your computer or from your phone, tablet, or other devices. And it's a great way to start picking up a language. That's another skill that you could work on at this time. So, if picking up a language interests you, then Duolingo gives you short lessons, which you can do in really anywhere, whether you're commuting, riding in a car, just a couple of minutes in the morning or the afternoon. It really makes it easy to do to do something as seemingly complex as language learning in short bite-sized pieces on a regular schedule. So that's definitely something that you should check out if it interests you. I'm personally, it's app for my heart because I love learning languages and everything that goes along with that. But definitely check that out. So in the future, we'll talk about more apps and resources that you can use. Don't know exactly what I'll talk about next time, but keep tuned. And the next time we'll meet will be 2 weeks from now again. So stay safe out there, guys.